new segment called Tyreek, why are you posting that? On today's episode, a picture of D-Hop in a Chiefs uniform with some emotional emojis. I don't even know what those ones are.
I think it's like, I can't believe my eyes, and then like
crying,
I'm crying.
but that's like a happy crying.
It
like
depends.
LOL
yeah,
crying.
but the phone is a phone.
And then a phone, yes, the phone is a phone. I recognize that.
Maybe.
So we had a lot of interpretations of this. What was yours?
Well, according to the Snapchat timeline, he posted this an hour either before or after saying this, which is what makes it, we can play the sound for you. Here's what he said about Tua coming back.
We're back, baby. Strike up the band. We're back, baby. Start me this week, baby. Let's go.
That's to his fantasy owners, I believe.
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel was planning on starting.
So, listen, I know this story annoys you, Wilds, and you think Tyreek's being unfair to your Dolphins. I don't want to quote.
Well, yeah, I don't know what's going on. So here's Tyreek's numbers since Tua's injury. So I understand that he has a reason to be frustrated since perhaps the most dynamic wide receiver in the game, with apologies to Justin Jefferson, has done absolutely nothing, and the Dolphins' offense has fallen off the map. That being said, bro, this is not the first, second, or third time that he has openly flirted with or trolled the media by winking at the Chiefs, Brett Veach, Mahomes, Kelsey, Chris Jones, whoever. And there's a point where he has flooded the sports media with so much of this that we turn a blind eye to it. Yeah. But if Malik Neighbors says, you know, I was open on that one, like, you can't throw your quarterback under the bus like that, Malik. Any other wide receiver does any small justifiable thing to say, hey, I need some more catches or I need that, it's up, you're tearing at the fabric of the team. Where this guy, who is the foundational cornerstone of Miami's offense, who just got an extension, is flirting with his ex-team excessively, and no one talks about it.
I think there are two reasons for that. One, he's like the boy who cried wolf. He does it so much. Are we really taking this seriously? We're joking about this. And everybody's laughing.
It's like Draymond yelling at the refs. You do it so much, you get allowed to do it.
Okay, whatever. Yeah. And the second thing is, he also, and maybe this is smart on his part, is crafty, whatever, he speaks glowingly of Tua.
Exactly.
Like he's doing all this other side flirtation, right, but telling you you're gorgeous. Man, look at you.
And Tyreek is a man who, it's pretty well established, he can
spread his
love a lot of people at the same time. Yeah. And I mean, exactly. That's a good way to put it. And so I just think, I don't think we should be shocked that Tyreek Hill's like, I love the Dolphins. I love the Chiefs. Tua's the greatest. I miss Mahomes. I'm pretty sure Tyreek, and I think he's been public about this, has kids that are like 2 months apart, and you guys can do the math on how that works, but it's pretty simple. I think he has a wandering eye at all times, and he misses his ex a bit. He does. I think that's what's happening, and I think the Dolphins are just like, it's Tyreek. He can't.
He just hasn't been able to win the
right, but so to be fair to Kyle Shanahan, since he took over the San Francisco 49ers, there's 3 guys coaching who have won a Super Bowl. Andy Reid, Sean McVay, and Doug Peterson, who's on his second job and might be on the way out. The active coaches who have won a Super Bowl, there's 7. 4 of them, though, won their Super Bowl more than a decade ago, more than a half decade before Kyle got his start as a head coach. Because you have Sean Payton, Mike McCarthy, Tomlin, and John Harbaugh. That's all pre-2013. Shanahan got the job in 2017. Since Kyle Shanahan became a head coach, by any metric, he's one of the very best. And the stuff, Wilds, I think, bangs him on a bit, the not getting over the hump. Well, I mean, he's second in all the playoff stuff to Andy Reid. And so I think this is unquestionably Purdy, and I'm not really focusing just specifically on the Cowboys game. It's kind of the pressure on this season for them because, like you're saying, Brew, the Niners, it's not like if they don't pay Purdy this offseason, they're moving on from him.
Right.
They have him for
you
next.
don't have to pay.
Of course.
So,
and it's not even because they could franchise tag him. He has one more year on his contract for $1 million. Like, they've got all the time they want with him. I think Purdy, while I might be on the more skeptical edge, I think there is a good bucket of people, even in that tiers article that you reference all the time, who are people that are, okay, he's good, but he's, league average-ish. And I think Shanahan is almost universally accepted as top 5 coach in this league. And I think if Shanahan were to come available, there's 20 teams that would move on from their coach for him. I don't think there's 20 teams that would move on from their quarterback for Purdy. So I just think one guy is minted and the other guy is approaching that status. And I just
that's fair, I guess. I never thought about it like that. If they were both to magically become free agents,
I mean, it
would be more sought after.
Well, there's 15 teams who wouldn't move, clear cut wouldn't kick their quarterback to the curb for Purdy. There are not 15 teams that wouldn't fire their coach for Shanahan.
Yeah, that's probably true.
15 might be. I mean, he's in that tier 2. Like you said, he was a tier 2 quarterback. But I think people are watching him. I think most people around the NFL believe he's good. He's played really good football since he's been there. But to your point, if they pay him $60 million, they're not going to have as great a roster. We see it with Dak right now. And so that's the question. And it is being answered, going to be answered this season.
Can I throw a Shanahan thing at you?
Sure.
I have felt like some of your Shanahan buts would be as if someone, when they were discussing Brad Stevens when he was a college coach, like, he can get you to the national championship game, but he can't win it. Guy can't win the big game. And I would look at him and be like, man, Butler got to back-to-back national championship games because of the edge he gave him. That's how I've looked.
But
that's how you view the 49ers.
Well, that's how
they've had very talented teams, but they have had offenses that take Purdy out of it. Like, because if it was just the last Super Bowl, you wouldn't bang on Shanahan at all. No. It's the stuff he did pre-Purdy. You don't bang on him for the NFC Championship game where Purdy got hurt.
I actually do. I thought the blocking scheme was putting the quarterback at risk.
Okay, all right, fair.
Here's the only thing I say to what you're saying, Nick. Shanahan has changed when they get leads, it's like he goes away from the run. Like when they were up 10 on Kansas City, they look at those stats. They were running the ball well. They're up 10 in the fourth quarter. All of a sudden, he wants to throw it around the yard. That was the season where they won a playoff game with Garoppolo having 8 passes.
I know.
So they were a run team, and all of a sudden, he wants to throw it.
So can I just say something? But I know we say that about the 2019 Super Bowl. That's not what happened.
He didn't excessively go to the pass?
Drew, they got up 10. The Chiefs got the ball and scored. The Niners then had the ball. It was a 4-play drive. They threw 2 passes. The Chiefs then got the ball and scored. So my point is,
they had been running the football well.
Right. So, but you're talking about 2 plays because then they had the next time they had the ball, they're trailing. They're trailing. They were up 10, but then the Chiefs had the ball, so now they scored. Now they have the ball up 3. They threw 2 passes. The Chiefs got the ball back. They scored again. Now you're down 4 in the fourth quarter. To me, that's not fair.
But he's had 2 10-point leads in Super Bowls and lost them both. Yeah. He's like one of the only coaches to ever do. That's the thing. It'd be like Butler in the NCAA title game is always lead at halftime by double digits, but can't hold it. That's the difference. Okay. And same thing when Atlanta and Brady. When he was the OC, they started throwing the ball. He got there, remember, and opened up the door instead of running it run the clock out.
All right, before we go, it's our weekly installment of a new segment called Tyreek. Why are you posting that? On today's episode, a picture of D-Hop in a Chiefs uniform with some emotional emojis. I don't even know what those ones are.
I think it's like, I can't believe my eyes, and then like
crying, but that's like a happy crying.
It depends.
LOL
yeah,
crying.
But the phone is a phone.
And then a phone, yes, the phone is a phone. I recognize that.
Maybe.
So we had a lot of interpretations of this. What was yours?
Well, according to the Snapchat timeline, he posted this an hour either before or after saying this, which is what makes it, we can play the sound for you. Here's what he said about Tua coming back.
We're back, baby. Strike up the band. We're back, baby. Start me this week, baby. Let's go.
That's to his fantasy owners, I believe.
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel was planning on starting.
So, listen, I know this